Hello and welcome to Mitv Primetime News. I am Teresa Adeyemi. President Bola Tinubu on Monday assured Nigerians not to be bothered about the mass exodus of skilled workers from the country, assuring the citizens that the federal government, in collaboration with subnationals, will train more persons to fill the professional gap now conspicuous in health, tech, and other sectors. The president spoke in Owerri, the Imo State capital, during the second-time inauguration of the governor, Uzodinma. Addressing the people of the state shortly after the governor took the oath of office, Tinubu said the education of children and youth is a priority for the administration of the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC). The president also assured the people of the southeast that the peace you are enjoying here will be better and we will work more to achieve that peace. Jakba, a colloquial for the emigration phenomenon that hit Nigeria had since the COVID-19 pandemic, has caused unprecedented shortage of skilled manpower in many sectors, especially the health sector, which contends with myriad issues like poor pay and welfare package. The United Kingdom, the United States, and Canada are top destinations for Nigerian youth who are relocated in pursuit of better education, employment, and security purposes, among other reasons. The Nigeria unemployment rate at a new record high of 33.3%. The mass exodus known as the Jakba phenomenon is in full swing. The Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, General Christopher Musa, has extolled the immeasurable contributions and selfless dedication of the officers and men of the armed forces of Nigeria, both serving and retired, to the nation's unity. General Musa, in his goodwill message to the troops on Monday at the occasion of the 2024 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day, lauded the commitment and doggedness of troops in protecting the freedom and security of the nation, paving the way for peace and tranquility in the country. While paying tribute to the personnel, both serving and retired, the CDS pointed out that their sacrifices, effort, and steadfast devotion in defense of Nigerians' democracy and national unity would never be forgotten. The CDS charged them to remain vigilant, uncompromising, and resolute while discharging their duties creditably for operational effectiveness and proficiency to enable them to cope all forms of security threats in the country. It reiterated its resolve to prioritize the welfare of troops in its effort to steer the affairs of the armed forces in line with the CDS leadership philosophy, which is to nurture professional armed forces of Nigeria that is people-centered and capable of meeting its constitutional responsibilities in a joint and collaborative environment. General Musa, however, lauded President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his strategy and logistical support and guardians to the armed forces of Nigeria, and assured him of their unalloyed loyalty and commitment to defending the nation's democratic values while ensuring peace, nation unity, and cohesion. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, while describing the occasion as a solemn day to remember to lost heroes, the further expressed commitment of the Tinubu Administration National Assembly to improve the welfare of the families of the fallen heroes and the active men and women in the field.
Once again, we have four colors of parade: the national color of our great nation Nigeria, the regimental colors of the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Navy, and the Nigerian Air Force, respectively. The mass band of parade, where the relieving chief.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on Monday gave a great commendation to the gallantry of 7 Nigerian military officers and fallen heroes for protecting the nation, with a promise that the government will continue to appreciate and encourage the armed forces. Governor Sanwo-Olu gave the commendation during the 2024 Armed Forces Remembrance Day Parade and wreath-laying ceremony at the Remembrance Arcade at Balewa Square in Lagos in honor of fallen heroes. He said the ceremony, which climaxed celebration of the year 2024 Armed Forces Remembrance Day, was a yearly routine to recognize and honor fallen heroes and members of armed forces who had served Nigeria in one form or the other. The governor said the occasion had become a national day to pray for the departed souls, the military officers, their families, and Nigeria. Governor Sanwo-Olu inspected the Guard of Honor alongside Brigadier General Adegoke Adetuyi, the Commander 9 Brigade of the Nigerian Army, Ikeja Cantonment, while also in remembrance for the fallen heroes who dedicated their lives to the service of the nation. In Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, Governor Dapo Abiodun, joined by heads of security agencies, traditional rulers, among others, to lay the wreath at the arcade ground, governor's office in the state capital, in memory of the fallen heroes. There was special parade by the Army, Navy, and also 21-gun salute, release of pigeons signifying peace, progress, and unity. Speaking to journalists shortly after the event, Governor Dapo Abiodun seized the occasion to appeal to Nigerians to shun all forms of violence, divisive tendencies, and have faith in the leaders and the Nigerian system by being patriotic.
In being patriotic, for those of us that were not privileged or were not courageous or bold enough to join the armed forces, we should subscribe to nation building and patriotism, spirit of patriotism. We should not be the ones that continue to sow the seeds of discord amongst ourselves. We should not continue to fan the flame of discord amongst ourselves. Let us be our brother's keeper. Let us shun all acts of violence, all acts that do not define us as a people. Acts that not define us as citizens of the biggest conglomeration of black people on the continent. Let us ensure the spirit of brotherhood amongst ourselves. Let us have faith in our system. Let us have faith in our government. Let us have faith in our leaders. Nigeria is on the verge of rising again.
Governor Ademola Adeleke of Osun State has commended the Nigerian military leadership for the implementation of civil military intervention programs in the nation. The governor urged the military leadership to work with community development agencies in each state in the implementation process to deepen civil-military relations and foster improved national security. Governor Adeleke stated this in Osogbo during the year's Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day held in honor of the state past and present heroes of the Nigerian military. It conveys support for families of fallen heroes to reward their sacrifices to the nation, just as they employed public and private bodies to expand support to the military to have a safe environment for human and capital development. He also urged leadership of the Nigerian Legion and the state to be rest assured of its government readiness to attend to their demands. Chairman of the Nigerian Legion, Osun State Chapter, Peter Oladipo, appealed to the state government to live up to its promises on the challenges facing their members. High point of the event was the annual tradition of 21-gun salute, which was observed to honor the fallen heroes immediately after a wreath laying by the governor and all the service chiefs.
To our legionnaires and veterans, we have you in mind. We value and appreciate your sacrifice to the nation. You should be rest assured that we are attending to your demands as listed in your speech. The Secretary to the State Government, SSG, will follow up on the details, I assure you. As a governor, I will be a practitioner and advocate of your interests at national and other strategic levels. It is on this note that I bring to a close the 2024 Armed Forces Remembrance Day. I thank you all for listening. God bless the Nigerian Armed Forces. complex Nigerian vision, we must ramp up our support for the veterans. The imperative of such package for the veterans is an incentive to strengthen national defense. When a nation cares for our service personnel, the defense infrastructure is further entrenched with the civil population. The citizenry then get closer to the services, leading to ease of recruitment, commitment, and passion for the
An non-governmental organization under the auspices of Oxfam, in conjunction with coalition of civil society, have called on government to rapidly and radically reduce the gap between the super rich and the rest of the society by making tax expenditures undergo parliamentary oversight and public debate. The acting country director of Oxfam, Tijani Ahmed, made the call on Monday while addressing journalists at the unveiling of the annual inequality report held in Abuja. Ahmed stressed the need for transparency in the process of granting incentives and also fostering public disclosure on opportunity cost elements. He urged the government to establish a dashboard for public access to data on tax incentives, enhancing awareness and trust. The acting country director also charged National Assembly to promptly call on the federal government to publish the tax expenditure report, showcasing a commitment to transparency and accountability in incentive management. Other stakeholders present yearn for a new era of tax with fairness, equity, and justice, adding that inequality can lead to anarchy in the country.
Transparency in the process of granting and administering incentives is very, very important, because how do we elicit wider public discourse on the opportunity cost of elements? I already told you that close to 19% of our budget is going into incentive. There should be a discussion. Do we really want, the 18% to be in our national budget, and we deal with the consequences of not having incentives? It needs a discussion, because there are political economic analysis that we need to make. So this paper is also calling for that, because we think this will strengthen public trust and provide opportunity for increased awareness of these fiscal instruments.
It's anarchy, because if inequality persists, what we would have is anarchy. Today, the Nigerian people cannot enjoy service delivery or social amenities. Over 5 trillion naira was given as tax heaven. This is unacceptable. Why the federal government is saying they cannot meet budget demand, and we're going to borrow, knowing that Nigeria is currently carrying a debt burden, and yet we're giving tax incentive for people who are profiting in billions of dollars within our economy. No, this is unacceptable. We need a new era of tax, a regime that ensures fairness, equity, and justice.
We must sanitize electoral process, because we are under democracy. The only way you can actually be in governance, in leadership position, is through democratic process, and therefore we need to sanitize how people become leaders in this country. If it is just mercantilism that is bringing you, there's no way we can address poverty and inequality and development. We are just lucky that God has not tested this country with the kind of tsunami, kind of disaster, humanitarian disaster that is happening to other countries. You can be rest assured, because we are not prepared for such response. Even the COVID show us that we are not ready to respond to disaster and calamity, because simply we have turned governance into completely, a process that is completely not responding to the yearning and aspiration of
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu signed the year 2024 appropriation bill of 2.267 trillion naira into law. The budget, Christian budget of renewal fashioned after the national budget, represents 58% capital expenditure and 42% recurrent expenditure. The governor acknowledged that the 2024 budget had been well thought out and would advance better economy, in line with the team's post agenda, noting that his administration was dedicated to ensuring successful implementation and transparency. Governor Sanwo-Olu also said his administration would be responsive in achieving the aim of the budget, calling for everyone to play their roles and pay their taxes to ensure the successful implementation, which is a collective responsibility of all. He thanked members of the Lagos House of Assembly for their collaboration, effort and budget, which would focus on the delivery of various roads and transportation projects which would have positive ripple effect on the economy and infrastructural needs of people in the state.
I've just had the honor to pen my signature by assenting to the appropriation bill that has been sanctioned by our legislators. Better economic and sustainability for our residents is also done in alignment with our Teams Plus developmental agenda. We therefore want to pledge to diligently work towards the completion of a lot of our ongoing projects and to successfully initiate new ideas and new endeavors that will bring about the team's agenda. Our administration will remain steadfast in upholding the highest level of accountability and transparency and ensuring that the greatest good is for the greatest number.
And that's all from the local scene. We go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring you stories from the foreign scene. Please stay tuned.